science fans, and welcome to SHE-ensya's Corner. Here, we kick back, relax, and talk about science events, both great and mundane, in the life of your resident Filipino scientist. It's January 25, science fans. I am Chona Camille Vinci Cruz Abeledo, your resident Filipino scientist, and welcome to episode 10 of SHE-ensya's Corner. So for this week in quarantine, we had the first female US Vice President sworn into office. SpaceX also surpasses the 1,000 satellite mark for their SpaceLink project. And here in the Philippines, we've had reported cases of the new UK COVID-19 variant. January 20, 2021 was an historic day for the United States of America, as Kamala Harris was sworn into office as the first female vice president of their country. As a STEMinist, I love how Madam Vice President Harris comes from a background of science. Did you know that her mother, Dr. Gopalan, a SHEro in her own right, was a scientist who worked on breast cancer research? Gopalan arrived in the United States from Tamil Nadu in India in 1958 as a 19-year-old graduate student to study nutrition and endocrinology at the University of California, Berkeley. Dr. Gopalan received her PhD in 1964 and continued to do meaningful research in order for us to understand the mechanisms of cancer and its connection to physiology, all while working hard to raise VP Kamala and her siblings. And as we hope for a future with no glass ceilings for women everywhere, we need to have more powerful female role models that our young children can look up to so that they know that whatever their gender is, whatever their means are, whatever their nationality is, it doesn't matter as long as they work hard in order to achieve the role that they want to have in the future. So cheers for SHEroes everywhere, for fellow women who are empowering other women. Thank you very much for all of your efforts. We also had another exciting event last week with the successful launch and rocket recovery of SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket. The SpaceX workhorse rocket, Falcon 9, lifted off as scheduled from Pad 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center at 8:02 a.m. EDT to launch 60 StarLink internet satellites into orbit. Science fact: StarLink is a satellite constellation development project by SpaceX to develop a low-cost, high-performance system to implement a new spaceborne internet communication system. Through the StarLink satellites that can hover on top of almost every location in the planet, we can establish secure and stable internet connection in even the most remote of places, without having to worry about laying down cable lines and building infrastructure that would be very difficult to do. The promise of the StarLink project is to deliver reliable connections to towns and places that can only be reached by planes, mountain villages that do not have regular supply routes, and other developing sites all over the world. If mega constellations of satellites will continue to become a reality, then the night sky will be converted into a mundane show of moving artificial lights that will obscure the stars. But apart from ruining stargazing, we have to continue watching out for the StarLink project, because although it has changed the lives of certain communities for the better, it can also be misused and used to actually impede on our privacies and other security issues. Let us remember that science is a double-edged sword. As some wield it for their benefit, it can also cut and hurt others. So it is always best to be on the lookout for powerful technologies that can be used to hurt others while enriching those that are already rich in the first place. And now, we've also had some new developments in the spread of the new COVID-19 variants here in the Philippines as we move closer to the anniversary of our initial lockdowns. The Department of Health reported on Friday the detection of 16 more cases of the UK SARS-CoV-2 variant in the Philippines. The first case was isolated in San Juan, Manila, and another case was quarantined in New Clark City. But there are more cases that were found in La Trinidad, Benguet, and Calamba, Laguna. Now, what's strange about the cases from Benguet and Laguna was that the people who turned out to be positive had no recorded contacts with individuals who were positive for this new variant. And at the same time, they had no travel histories as well. Science fact. With reports of local transmission, it is good for us to know that the UK virus is more transmissible because of key mutations in the coronavirus spike protein, which covers the surfaces of coronavirus particles. And what's important about this spike protein is the fact that it is what is being used by the coronavirus to attach itself to our cells and enter our bodies. And with the latest data from the UK, the new variant has shown to be 70% more transmissible and 30% more deadly than previous variants. At the moment, there is no evidence that the existing vaccines won't work for these new, more dangerous variants. But we have to make sure that we are always updated with the news and to practice constant vigilance. Local transmission of the virus means more people can get sick, and this could lead to the clogging of our healthcare system once again, meaning our hospitals will find it more difficult to help those in need. So please wear your masks properly, wash your hands regularly when you go outside, and please stay at home as much as possible and only leave when needed. And that's it for SHE-ensya's Corner this week. For more updates about the goings-on at SHE-ensya and your resident Filipino scientist, please follow SHE-ensya on Facebook and SHE-ensya in Instagram. Drop by our website also at www.sheensya.com. You can also follow my personal IG account at shona.abiledo. I hope you were able to learn something from our episode of SHE-ensya's Corner this week. If you did, I hope you can give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to message me, your resident Filipino scientist, in the comments section below. Thank you very much, and see you around!